intrinsic, something important for you to make you what you are, to identify yourself as a Ugandan, as an African. A value is very important. We talk about the value of my shirt, isn't it? That's what the price, if you like, the price of what you pay is what you say, is what you do. So 1835, there was no thief, there was no what? Such a moral value. The man says such a moral value. What does that mean? They respected God. Do you respect God today? Yes. Men are marrying men. Are they respecting God? No. And he was very clear when he established a woman from the limb of a husband, isn't it? And you are saying no, such a value is not called forth. So there was no thief. And she says they were working, people working for each day. You've been taught a what? A prayer of the Koreans. Do not, can we repeat together? 1, 2, 3, we go. Do not eat to eat, but eat to work. If you do not work, do not eat. Work for 4 hours. For each meal, yes. It's just as clear as that. But for us, we can afford to spend the whole day playing matatu and the pool, and we expect to eat. But where do you get food to eat? Unless we must eat. But where do you get that food? Let me tell you, the whites have brought another process. It's called stupidification. Can I hear that word? Stupidification. Yes. They tell you, okay, pray, please, pray. Pray, everything will be in order. Are we together? Pray. And they say, pray. Pray, everything will come your way. God made miracles. Jesus made miracles. But he made it from something. When he fed 5,000 people, did he simply say, come you bread, come you loaves, come you fish? He asked, is anywhere you can get fish? Is anybody having some fish and bread? There was a young boy. Those days they were also batembei. The young boy had fish and what? I don't know how many loaves he had. And how many pieces of fish? Yes. So he made a miracle out of what this man had. Isn't it? That means somebody had made an effort to go and fish. Had made bread. And God helped him to multiply from what the other man had done. But the man would just come and say, Amen, amen. God will make a miracle. Don't you worry, pray. You pray the whole day, the whole night, the whole week. But you must eat. It's a called process of stupidification. Can I hear that word? Stupidification. I am not attacking any religion. But if you spend the whole day and the night and you're not working, you are stupid.
One young man said that when you're still young, you need to prepare and prepare and prepare. So, as the youth, it is our role, not the role of the government, to love ourselves first, to make sure we make some implementations to the society, not by force, not by being driven, but from our own energy, from our own implementations. First of all, when you go and understand the Bible, for me, the only thing which was disturbing me was I thought the Bible was brought by the whites. But I want to realize that the Bible existed even before the whites did. That's why the motto of our country is for good and my country. So the whites reached an extent, they were showing that anything black is bad. That's why they said black is a sin. Yes, in that if at all an angel is a white, Satan is black. Yes, that's what they were showing. And as you said, no, you don't know if God is a he or a she, but we know is the creator of Mother Nature. So all in all, I request students of Virika, students at large, that we should be responsible of our responsibilities and mindset. It is not all about the government saying this, but it's your impact to the government, to the community, to the society as the citizen of Uganda. Thank you very much.
Asante sana. So Papa, I don't know. As Batoros, we have a culture of giving pet names. Only that I'm going to give you a pet name. Only that you have not eaten the millet and the local sauce, but you're going to share with me a pet name. So I'm going to give you my pet name as a piece of appreciation. Mine is Amoti, so if you don't mind, you can also become Amoti today. And actually, you are Amoti. Amoti, whoever them knock to Egesa today, we're really grateful. And the rest of the facilitators we've had today, Virika is grateful. May God bless you.
Asante sana.
Identity question to promote a sense of national inspiration, pride, basing on knowledge about us as Ugandans. That's why we are addressing it. Service has no tribe, ladies and gentlemen. Are we together?
Yes.
It's not only you, even among us, even Mama Rose fails. But I strive many times, 70 times or more, to try to be a good citizen. Probably I have woken up on the wrong side of my bed. Probably I was rude and my muzee gave me a hot slap. When you come as client number 1 in the morning, if I'm not professional, I may not be good. I may be rude. You also have your stories about us. You come to our offices, you say good morning. I just look at you. Okay? But is that the right thing to do? Are you the reason why Muzee slapped me? A point of reflection. Number 2, we are addressing the identity question to nurture loyalty and national cohesion for progress. Loyalty, total commitment to. And again, I'm reminding you, when we say I love Uganda, don't think it is a mold. It's the people of Uganda. Whenever you say, I love Uganda, I serve Uganda, it means I love the people of Uganda, I serve the people of Uganda, I sacrifice for the people of Uganda. Okay? A person who is loyal to Tatotolwa, keep some things to themselves. When you start to self-glorify, you cease to be a good servant. You start becoming heartless and a show-off. I'm told Lucifer was one of God's good angels, the leader of the choir, isn't it?
Yes.
But because he sang very well, but I think he sang a Chai Wenjak. Eh? So the song became very good for him and he thought he was bigger than his master. That level of pride is not good. To be proud of yourself is good, but to be, overly proud makes you over ambitious and results in heartless behavior and you become a show-off. You know the disaster we have now? We live with Satan here. And every day we are struggling with him in his red coat. Okay? We are doing the identity question to rebuild a sense of responsibility. We go to school. I do not get a first-class degree. But my friends got a first-class degree. But if you do character certification, you find some person with a master's, a PhD, but not a responsible servant. But you have gone to schools or institutions like this, and when they are awarding the most loyal person, the award goes to the cleaner. I don't know about this institution. Where I went to secondary school, I remember our head cook up to now, and all of us called him Guga. Guga in my language means Jaja. That Muzei loved the students in that school. He had a daughter in the same school, but he had a share of love for each one of us. He knew those who wanted to eat the crust, he would keep it somewhere for you. He knew those ones who wanted to eat the one of the bottom, the one which looks like chapati, he would put it in the bucket. So when you bring your saucepan like this, Guga would give you a piece of posho and break the crust for you. He knew those who wanted top player of the porridge. By the way, he's still living and the girls want to honor him. We went to a girls-only school. He was such a loyal, responsible servant. With no degree, he was very good in his office. Are we together? So the identity question is addressing such things. Are we going to be responsible people for Uganda? We are doing this topic to encourage collective contribution in ensuring national good, success, and accomplishment. Objective, collective contribution. So that we cease to say that those ones, the problem of Uganda, never Catholic. The problem of Uganda, never Protestant. The problem of Uganda is the Muslim. No. If the problem of Uganda is not religious, the problem of Uganda is the problem of the people of Uganda. Kaka, Jaja Tibuhabura says, the problems of Africa should be solved by Africa itself. And knowledge we get should be knowledge for a purpose. So we are saying, if we come to address you, we know the technical instructors, tutors, lecturers give you the technical knowledge. But what is that other knowledge that we need to have so that we identify as good citizens? That is why we are here with Papa. Okay? Ours is almost a counseling session. Why? Reflect on the population of Uganda. Uganda is the youngest country in Africa. When I say youngest, I'm not saying it got independence last. No. Our population structure indicates that from 45 million before COVID, we are now 48.5 million Ugandans. Very many younger people produced more children during those 2 years of lockdown. Now we are coming to close to 50 million. But 33 million of that population are children and youth, like many of you, in institutions of higher learning. Without the right guidance, Uganda is doomed to die with us people of 50 years plus. Mutegedde? When I was growing up, it was in you, the value was in you, that you value and respect elders. Are we together? In a bus from Bale, you would not enjoy the chair when an elder is standing. You would find yourself just saying, Muzei, sit here. We respected mothers. There was no way you go to a church or a function, you see a pregnant woman standing and you are comfortable in a chair. That was the value system then.
And I would like to say thank you very much, Madam, for the session. One thing I have picked is that we have chance to reflect and change ourselves because we are the you in Uganda. Wanyala Nabi.
Asante sana.
Remain there. Yeah.
Once again, all protocol observed.
Keep
Good morning.
quiet. You don't have anything.
My name is Vagali.
Listen.
My name is Vagali and Desire. I must confess, Mama Rose, this has been a wonderful session once again. Like, our lives are being changed each and every day. We are getting to know new things. For instance, my own confession is, I thought celebrating national holidays was just something like a formality. But now that I've learned that you're supposed to add love to it, I'll celebrate even more. Because I would be excited for a public holiday, for example, Independence Day, because I know I won't have classes that day. But even if you ask me, at one time I didn't know how many years Uganda was making, but I just knew Independence Day is there, no classes, I'll be chilling. But honestly, I have plus the special meal. But now I know the importance of all these things and the importance of loving our own country. Thank you very much.
Asante sana.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Down.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4. Louder.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2.
1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1.
Clap for yourselves. Have a seat.
It's on myself. Sometimes when I'm on phone, I can sleep at 1 and wake up at 4 or 3.
Lucky, thank you for opening up to your life. Now, Lucky is not alone. Lucky, there are people who sleep at 3, and yet they have to be up at 5. Now, our young people, there is a real epidemic bigger than corona. These young people are not sleeping. I don't know whether we have administrators here. And when we don't sleep, even it's recommended that you should not apply yourself to run a machine when you have not slept enough. You're not recommended to drive when you've not slept enough. And unfortunately, as I deal with more youth, I get more people addicted to the phone than we get them addicted to heroin. The phone is giving the same bad addiction withdrawal syndromes like the way heroin does. So if you think you are safe, you are in a medical school, yet you can't sleep, you're already addicted to the phone, you need help, you need therapy. And I don't want you to keep saying, I saw you online this day. Don't point fingers. This is a serious problem that is eating away our youth. I don't know whether the administration has a therapist on compound, but addiction of the phone gadgets is robbing our youth. And it's a time bomb. It will affect output, it will affect even the learning process, and then it will affect the person we are presenting at the end of the day to serve our community. Do we all get Rutoro?
Yes.
Yes. So I want you to look at a person who has eaten very good food, has slept their minimum 6 hours as a minimum, and has eaten their good food. And then you see someone who is eating junk, who is always on social media, and they have slept for 3 hours. In output, in terms of kindness, will the person who didn't sleep have the same kindness with the person who slept? Do you realize that tuliyo ntuturiche bisonsogoro? What kind of care are we going to get with a person who is not eating well, not sleeping well, not loving themselves? How do you love yourself when you don't know how to eat, you don't know how to sleep, you don't know how to dress, you don't know how to care for you? How will you give the care to another person? So those of us who are already having issues of sleep, get help. I know right now I can recommend, there are people always training. I trained at Bishop Magambo Counselor Training Institute. I believe it's if you walked in and reached the reception, it's a walking distance, you can get help. Get it when you still have the chance. There are kids, when you take away their phone or they steal their phone, some go the extreme, they can even commit suicide. The addiction is that bad. You've had the challenges of the phones. So if you know you're struggling with that, it's worse than heroin. Please walk in, get help in therapy. And do not be ashamed. Don't feel stigmatized. And don't even laugh at someone and say, "Ngogu mwamrora, yagenda kumukonyera ebitekerezo." But that person would have won. I cannot give you the support, but I can recommend.
The Director of St. Lucia, Madam, senior officers present, instructors, fellow trainees, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Reverend Sister Christine Virungi Adieri. I'm here to give a vote of thanks to our facilitator. This afternoon, we are privileged to have received the presentation from Madam Tibahainurwa Lydia Linda Amoti on topic transformation, discipline, and methods of work. The presentation has enhanced our understanding on how to contribute to our society and has brought out significant lessons which are important to us cause as patriots and general knowledge on the subject. Among others, the following were brought out. She has shared with us her life history. It wasn't easy, but what we have learned is that poverty doesn't kill. But we learned through experiences that hard life, what she passed through made her to become what she is now. And we are assuring you, Madam, you have become a role model to many of us. She has told us how we can manage our time. Time is the greatest treasure we have in our country, and we have learned how to utilize it by doing something productive. Thank you, Madam. She has also talked about the attitude. Which attitude do we have towards what we do? E.g., patience. We should be patient in all circumstances without giving up. She has also talked about the values like smartness, time management, and love. We should do everything with love. And personally, what I've learned is that if I want to be someone important in future, I should be determined, not listening to what people say or think about me. But I should know what I want. And people won't know what I want except myself. So people, we should be determined on what we want.
You go to the concept of patriotism. Don't say, police has come to waste our time here. Please. Now, my simple role is going to talk about few things. Later maybe, if there are some questions. You You may see police. I have to tell you why police is here, is around, and I'm here today. The role of the police, in general, is checking human conduct. And I will talk about human conduct. Checking human conduct. Checking how? To ensure every human conduct in Uganda does the right thing at the right time and in the right place. When you do contrary, we come in. Because ours is number one. Our role, protection of life and property. When I begin writing, I will waste a lot of time. Mine is big. Protection of life and property. How? How do we protect life and property? We use you. Because we are coming here to teach you how does police protect life and property. It is psychological and direct intervention. When you disturb somebody's property, when you sleep, we arrest you. We take you somewhere. We punish you. So by that action, we are protecting the property. Life. Don't joke at somebody's life. When you take away somebody's life without the consent of God, police must go on you. Why should you kill? Why should you disturb? Why should you beat? So that is the role of the police. Protection of life and property. That it is by opening your eyes to know why. Then number 2 is detection and prevention of crimes. Detection, how do we know? And then prevent. It is using you. And especially you people, when you are trained, you are out there. Because you are going now to be nurses, doctors, and some as you proceed. Detection of crime. How shall we know that there is crime in a certain hospital, in a certain clinic, or drug shop? Some people are going to induce you because of money. You start stealing medicine, health centers, and so on. Detection. So how do we detect it? You give us information, but there is somebody who is always enticing the storekeeper. What is the intention? Oh, the storekeeper, whenever he's going away, is carrying a big bag in government hospitals. What is there? Detection. When we get that tip, we find out, hey, so, madam or sir, what are you carrying in your bag? When they learn that there is something likely, police is around, they may not take the drugs. Have you seen detection and the prevention? When you give us information. Then apprehension and prosecution. Definitely police. It is you now. You have given us that tip. We shall arrest and prosecute. And take somebody to court of law. And it is you. And you can imagine you are being trained. And you are somewhere in your own societies. We are not training you because you are going to steal medicine or what. No. What about when you go back to your village? What happens to your health centers? What happens? So it is general. Don't look at it that you are at Virika. What about when you go home? What is happening down there? The government is trying to do ABCD. Recently they were giving out nets. And do you think the right people go to nets? Some nets are going somewhere. That's why you are being trained. Come up. So, apprehension and prevention of and prosecute offenders. Now, then we cooperate with other security agencies and the population generally in order to promote development. That is the role of the police. We cooperate with other security agencies and the population generally, you people, so that there is a development. Now, you are being trained, you are going to be nurses, Ugandans are going to be worked on out there. Now, if they have good health, the government has provided medicine, and you have utilized the medicine correctly, don't you think there will be development? Now, if you don't do it properly, then will you say police? What is you? You can imagine. Everyone, you see the way when we are talking out there, they are blaming the government. It is you. You blame yourself, start from yourself. Then you come to me. Because I'm a human being. Because we are coming to human conduct. Police entirely is checking the human conduct of a Ugandan. You.
For Potro, Kasese, no. But you know Canada. So, it's only the continent of Africa that is stable. The other continents are sinking by day. When you hear people are going to the moon, for you think they are advanced. They are looking for alternative ways of living. Because their continents, with time, they will not be there. So, as they look for the alternatives, Africa is also another. As you getting sleepy, you're there, looking for someone to push you. They push you and say, we are giving you 20 million. Marry her. So you say, only that. What I wanted was money. My husband. And you start from there. Ignorantly, you don't know what is happening. For them, the agenda is big. You are reading this thing for 1835. 1835. Up to today, the agenda is still on. For you, only plan for tomorrow. If I ask you what you are going to do tomorrow, I also don't know. Let's wait for tomorrow. They are not aware of what they are going to do tomorrow. For them, they plan for more than 100 years. What are you going to do after school?
I'm going to...
Don't laugh at her. She represents all of you. Don't live in denial. Her response is your response. God has plans for me. God has what?
Plans for me.
But He helps those who help themselves. You sit there and wait for Him to help you. It's not a him, a how, a she, or who. Whatever. But He helps those who do what? That's why He called you man or woman to rule over all the other creatures. That you have the brains to think, different from other creatures.
Are we together?
Yes, sir. I'm
Peleka Kalevu. Kalevu.
Patriotism, so the national patriotism for Uganda. I'm very glad to meet you today. For the first time, I've been hearing of this program in secondary schools, now other institutions, now as this community around this hill, we are privileged to welcome you.
The Deputy Commissioner, the Senior Training Officers, the Patriotism Coordinator for Porto City, the Local Council Representative, the Principal and Administration of Virika School of Nursing and Midwifery, my fellow trainees, good afternoon. My name is Wanyenze Priscilla Madibo, and I'm here with a group of bright minds, and we make up the Memorandum Committee today. Before I go any further, allow me introduce them one by one, starting from my far right. Thank you.
Jambo sir, my name is Bagaya Lilian Desire.
Jambo sir, my name is Nambazo Habib.
Jambo sir, my name is Nakayo Veronica. Jambo sir, my name is Reverend Sister Christine Birungi.
Jambo sir, my name is Otule Moses.
Jambo sir, my name is Singh Edward.
Jambo sir, my name is Noel Shafi.
For Patriotism, NSPC Office of the President, headed by Commissioner Madame Helen Sepu, conducted a 5-day Patriotism Development Training course of students and tutors of Virika Nursing School from 6th to 10th November 2023. The course registered attendance of 263 participants, of which 49 were males and 214 were females. The following were the topics covered and facilitators that took us through them. The students received both internal and external facilitators. The following are the topics. Introduction to Patriotism Ideology and Mindset Change by Papa Deo Sevrimage. The highlights of the history of Uganda by Lieutenant Henry Sensonga. The Identity Question by Mama Rose Busikwa. Crime Prevention and Peace Building by the OC Station for Porto City. Transformative Discipline and Methods of Work by Papa Deo Sevrimage. Ethics and Professionalism Among Health Workers by Reverend Sister Agnes Nasamba, the school principal. The National Resources and Impact on Geopolitics. Papa Deo Sevrimage took us through. A Lecture of Opportunity by Madam Lucia Alinda. And lastly, Emotional Intelligence by Major Albert Arinaitu. During our course of training, we had a team that we are glad to call our instructors, and these are their names. Nalumansi Aziza, Kayanja Area, Sekamate Ben, Naturinda Evas, and Mr. Mosh Ziwa. The following are the objectives of the training. 1. To inculcate norms and values of patriotism, to deepen students' understandings of patriotism ideology. At the beginning of the course, we as students had our expectations, and they are as follows. 1 is to be guided on the qualities, duties, and responsibilities of a citizen as guided by the Constitution. To be encouraged to love and sacrifice for our country. To learn self-defense, since we expected to be taught how to use a gun. And lastly, to learn Swahili as a language, since it's to be used as an official language in the East African communities. Throughout the course of training, we had very many achievements, and some of these are as follows. This course has enhanced the students' knowledge of understanding, since they were taken through different topics as mentioned above. The participants were taught how to sing the national anthem in Kiswahili, since most of them did not know, and we learned different Kiswahili revolutionary songs. The students learned how to be time conscious, which improved their discipline in time management. Since students were taken through parade and the different drills, they learned physical fitness, mental alertness, and the unit of purpose. However, challenges never miss in every course. So the following are the different challenges we as the trainees encountered. 1, we had a very short period of training, and this hindered the good flow of our programs, and some topics were not covered, such as learning of the gun. Most of the participants failed to keep time during training, and they usually came late for the classes due to laziness. The institute does not have a football pitch, to allow effective training of participants. The parade and drills were carried out from a primary school, yet there were UNEB examinations to take place. Allow me hint more on that, my beloved Commissioner. As you can see, this is not the first time this kind of weather is affecting us. Yes, we love the country, we love the nature and the climate that we have, but this really disrupted very many of our sessions and the trainings. And to hint more on the pitch issue, it also affected us because we were very many in number, as stated above. We were 200 plus. And yes, the pitch we were using initially was big, but because of the UNEB exams taking place, we could not use it. So we used a smaller ground, which I would say helped, but hindered our activities. Resentment, to continue with the challenges, resentment of the training from students because they had insufficient knowledge about training. The language barrier, since the songs and parade commands were in Kiswahili and very few of us knew it. Weather changes, which disrupted the sessions because the school does not have a main hall to accommodate a big number. Some physical exercises were had, and some of the students developed muscle pulls and infections such as pneumonia. Punishments were administered, like rolling, and students were not used to such punishments. Waking up early at 5 a.m. and sleeping late at 10 p.m. was a challenge since students were not used to that. Recommendations. The trainings should be extended to at least 14 days to enable the NSPC deliver all the lectures and all lessons as planned. We request the government to fund the construction of a main hall or a football pitch for a smooth running of the activities. Provide patriotism literature to various institutions such that students read and get more information about patriotism. Kiswahili as a language should be introduced to all schools starting from the lower classes such as primary, so that learners understand the language at an early age. Allow me extend our sincere appreciation to the President of Uganda, His Excellency, the General Retired Virika School for starting the Patriotism program in education institutions. To the NSPC for conducting the Patriotism development course. To the principal, staff and the students of Virika School of Nursing and Midwifery for having accepted the program and their active participation. To the coordinator of the Patriotism in Fort Portal, Mr. Mugenyi David, for having thought about Virika Nursing and Midwifery to have a Patriotism development course. To the instructors for self-sacrifice and resilience towards the cause. And lastly, we thank the students of Virika School of Nursing and Midwifery once again for enduring the training period. Asante sana for God and my country.
I thank God in the first place for having enabled us to be here all throughout. This team reported here on Sunday evening. Those who know how to count, how many days are they to date? I say 6, 7, 5, close to that. But all this has happened. Whatever you have seen here, before I go further, I want to introduce the instructors, headed by the chief instructor. I want you to come in front. The instructors, chief instructor, I need to say this when you're here. You have heard of the names, but I need them to introduce themselves to the guests who are here so that they can, using the microphone, start with the CI in that order. Introduce yourselves to the congregation.
Nalmas Aziza, Chief Instructor.
Asante sana. Nambo sir. Kayanja area instructor sir. Nambo sir. Asante sana.
Sekamatebe, instructor.
Linda Maria Ivas, instructor.
Thank you so much. This team here you see is the one that has made whatever you see a success. Asante sana. You can go and take your seat to date. But what I can say is that our objectives were achieved.
Asante sana.
As educationists, as teachers and tutors around, learning is gradual, right? It's a process. But when it comes to patriotism training, it's a very fast process. Unlike studying the Archimedes principle. If we are to remind ourselves of those stuffs, patriotism training happens, it's here and now. So for the last 4 days, people have transformed. By the time we started, when you hear those who have the memorandum, laziness, sleeping, coming, the muscle pulls, yes, all that is showing us that learning has taken place. I've not seen some people eating. We are not used to waking up very early. Let me tell you, sleeping is the beginning of poverty, especially in the morning. By 5 you are in bed, and you want to be rich, and you want to treat these Ugandans, and 5 you are still complaining you are waking up very early. That's the beginning of poverty. It's the beginning of what? So don't complain that you are waking up very early. No. All that is part of learning. And we have learned. So by the time we leave this gate, don't go back to waking up at 8, at 9. When you see the instructors pushing you here and there, blowing the whistle, time management is a core value of patriotism. A patriot has to keep. Time is money. You as nurses, you don't keep time, aren't you going to lose all the patients on the ward? You come late, it will be too late for some life. You do what you are doing late, you lose a life. So time management. It would be other people complaining of waking up, but not the nurses and midwives. Someone with labor pains, and you still want to put makeup. Saddling on the lips. Keep time. Put some honor. Baby what? Baby Junior? Baby Juno? Go to the what? To save a life. So I'm happy to announce that the objectives of the program were achieved, and it's on that note that I'll report to you, Assistant Commissioner and the Chief Guest, that these people qualify to pass out as patriots. Allow me also to mention that what we have learned here could be coined into 3 words. 1, discipline. 2, hard work and responsibility. Many of the things that we have studied here, we are teaching you to be responsible. Whatever levels, at home, at work, on streets, in the country, wherever, take responsibility.
Now, I want first of all thank everybody for accepting to participate in this program. When we talk about patriotism, it is not just in words, but it's a serious program that is aimed at creating the quality human resource that this country, Uganda, desires. I want to say that those who have missed this program have the right to regret, because they have no capacity to initiate on what they think, but they must adhere to what the government plans for them in order to be great people. Patriotism as a program focuses much entirely on loving our country. When we talk about loving the country, it's not in words. That for me, called so and so, I love Uganda as a country. Apana. There are things that you must demonstrate to reflect that you love your country or you don't love your country. Without even mentioning that you love Uganda, how are you behaving in terms of responding to the needs of the nation? Patriotism as a program is compulsory to all teachers and students in the post-primary institution in this country. As long as you're a teacher or a student in any gazetted institution called post-primary, you automatically qualify to be a member of this program. So I want to thank in a special way to see that our staff of the institution were part of the training. Asante sana. Now, as citizens of this country, we are lucky that we are created by God and we are here. Unless there is one of us who has evidence that he requested God to belong to this part of the world, including your own parents. You did not say this one should be my father or my dad, but God predetermined and made his decision that you should be part and a part of this country. Now, because of what he has done in terms of creating you to be part, to put you in that part of the world, he has a purpose. You were created for a purpose, not because you are not supposed to be there as a human being. Now, Uganda as a country, to develop and get the quality human resource that we need, the government designed a program to ensure that the population is set to represent the will of God. The creation of God put us in this world and guided us to champion, take us to the high other levels. As his representative, that's why you are here. And the government is playing that role of putting in practice what God wants us to do as a country, because we have a government. Now, our constitution, the laws that govern this country decide they are put in place according to the national objectives and directive principles of state policy. Roman 29 of our constitution guarantees every citizen of Uganda to love this country, to be patriotic. So what we are doing today in this training is not a wastage of time, but a fulfillment of our constitutional obligations. Meaning that all of us here must go in that direction. Now, when you leave your homes and come to such an institution called the school, you are required by nature to achieve three things so that you make your country develop. The first thing that you must have as a citizen in order to be a person of quality nature or to develop it is to get what we call knowledge. Knowledge of how to read, how to write, how to analyze, how to express yourself, developing a level of intellectualism. It is a role of building a person to be of quality nature to develop his country. Then the second thing that you must acquire deliberately is to have what we call skills. I am very sure that all of you will give evidence that here at School of Nursing, Virika, you are studying skills of being nurses and many others. But also a country has a segment of many other disciplines. Those who want to study law, politics, medicine, engineering. Now, those are the specific skills that makes a Ugandan to contribute for its development. Because once you don't have them, then you are not going to add value. You are not going to respond a result of your creation by God. And then the third thing that you must acquire in order to develop yourself and the country, you must have what we call values. Values simply means the standard way of behavior. As human beings, as a country, there must be a systematic and a deliberate way of behavior if we are to develop. But once we leave everybody to behave in their own thinking, then the country cannot develop. Patriotism program. Now, when you talk about patriotism, to deliver it in a practical sense, that everybody should believe that you love this country by choosing to do the right thing. And that right thing which you choose to do must first of all benefit you as an individual, and consequently you benefit the country. You cannot claim that you will be a teacher to teach students when you need training. Because you chose to do the right thing, you can't claim that you can be a nurse to be in the health center 3 and exercise your roles when you do not get skills. That's why you are here in the school. Now we want your knowledge that you are getting, because you are not being prepared for nothing but to help Ugandans. Yes, you are going to better yourself by getting that allowance called salary, but at the end of it all, even if you go to first class, you are not going to teach yourself. You will be teaching other Ugandans.